Wolfmandoom Gaming here. Welcome back to Project Zomboid. This is the current unstable build. Um, it's pretty neat. I mean, there's not a lot that's different so far, but it's cool that there's a new update. I don't remember what I was doing here. I know where I am. I'm in the countryside. I don't know why I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere. I think I stayed at the house last. I don't remember. Oh, it's been a while since I played, in case you can't tell. I mean, me and my brother plays Zomboid a lot, so time away from it doesn't matter. It's more like, what the heck was I doing? That's the problem. I do know this area pretty well, so again, that's no. I got a fair amount of stuff on me. I actually, me and my brother were playing this in our previous play sessions, the stable recording, and we had a few issues in the multiplayer. Nothing crazy. We had an issue with, well, at least for me, the game would start to lag only in multiplayer over, I don't know, let's say an hour time span, give or take. It would just start to lag. It would like freeze, and then it would like pick back up. Obviously it's unstable, so I'm gonna obviously not be like, oh, that shouldn't be like that. I mean, it's unstable. You play at your own whatever. The game crashes, or there's any issues, or your file gets corrupted, or the game just crashes at random, which is possible. Hey, it's what you get for playing unstable. You know? If you're playing a game, if you're playing anything that's unstable build, or it's a still beta, I mean, you're gonna have issues. That's the risk you take with playing a beta, especially a beta that's just not 100% functional, I guess I want to say. I mean, this works. For my brother told me, Zomboid doesn't release a beta of anything until they know it's gonna work right. But of course, you gotta put it out there that that there could be issues. You know, and they're covering their own butts. They're like, you know, as a player, that hey, if you play this, you might have some issues. It's like, okay. Yeah, I don't care personally. But anyways, the last recording did really good. So I thought I'd do another one of this. I didn't know much about Zombie. I know I said before, I don't want to keep, you know, harping on it, but I didn't know Zomboid much. My brother told me about it, and he's like, hey, like, we used to play 7 Days to Die a lot. And I'd be like, oh man, I wish you could do, you know, this in this game. He'd be like, well, in Project Zomboid you can. And like, he kept like doing that as a joke. And as time went on, I was like, okay, I think he ended up buying it for me. And yeah, random phone call. I ended up playing it, not a clue what I was doing. And it took me a while to like completely understand what the heck to do. Zomboid is a good game. It's weird. It's a very different kind of game from other survival types. I am really tired. Here's my coffee. Not me in real life, my guy. He's that little thing up there that's saying I'm tired. But it's way too early to sleep. And they also do is just minimize my my radius for seeing things, which could really do me in. It could be very damaging. You don't actually pass out from being tired, and you can actually sleep in the. If I sit on the grass. Nah, no, in the old version, you could just sleep on in the grass. Just zooming ahead a little bit. It's definitely a handy feature in this game. I didn't really realize it until my brother told me about it, and again, I realized how to do it with a controller. You have to, for me, I have to use my attack button, which is this one here. And then as I'm holding that, I gotta hold the left trigger, right trigger, the right trigger, and then that's how I do it on controller. It's a little weird, but I said I have reasons I can't play with the. Oops, it's the Windows button. I can't play with the mouse and keyboard. For those who don't know, I have carpal tunnel. So, if I don't play with the mouse and keyboard for a while, it's fine for like an hour or so. But if I do it too much, it gets worse and worse. I have wore the things. I should actually wear those again. They do actually help, the little wrist splint things. For those who don't know what carpal tunnel is, what it is there's a nerve in your hand that only affects this finger, and your thumb. And it's in your wrist. It's called the meridian nerve. What happens, I forgot how to say that, but something in your wrist swells up from agitation and puts pressure on the meridian nerve, which causes that numbness. The meridian nerve is only affects the thumb, the ambulance, and a couple of Zambodis. The thumb, the pointer finger, middle finger, and part of the index finger. Oh, he's a bit hangry. Hi. Crap. Woo, that was close. Woo! That was ridiculously close. I almost got nibbled on. So my light flash from my eyes. Ambulance key. I assume it's probably beat up or out of gas. One thing you will need, me and my brother found the hard way, suture needles. They're the one thing you definitely want to have if you get a gash, I think, or a laceration. It will keep bleeding. You cannot do anything about it. You have to actually suture it or you will bleed to death. I forgot which one it is, 100%. And it is? No. Yeah, this thing's dead and probably banged up. Let's just check it out real quick, just for ha-has. Oh, yeah. Woof. All right. I'm a little encumbered. This recording's gonna be however long I can manage to do, just so you know. I heard her rustling. Just looking for hordes of zombies. I know in the last recording I went down the road to the one farmhouse I've been to before. I like this area because it's quiet, and there's a big old horde of zombies down this one road where there normally isn't zombies. All right, we're gonna head back. So I'm a little on guard. I think that it's part of the, well, it is part of the update. Project Zomboid is a very different, interesting zombie survival game. There's a lot of zombie survival games in general. They're very much cookie cutters, but Zomboid is definitely very different in a lot of aspects. Here I'm now, boasting about it, where I first started playing it, I hadn't had a clue about this game. But it's neat, because it's like, you really are on your own. You're in a world, it's like 7 Days to Die, but in my eyes, a little bit better. Because it's more gritty, it's more realistic. There is no cure. There is no way out of this. If you get bit or you get scratched and you get infected, like, that's it. If you get bit and you survive, if you don't die from it, you're infected. You have a few days to make peace with that before ultimately you die. If you get scratched, there is a chance that you're infected, but you might be all right. You might get you might get a the signs of being infected without actually getting infected, and then it can happen. It is very, very possible. I've had it before. Well, the past few times I played and I would get infected, I usually died from it. Me and my brother actually set it in the server settings that if you get infected by a zombie virus, it first kills you instantly. There is no more waiting time, which actually is nice to me. A lot of times you would get bit and you get, well, not bit, you get scratched and you get infected, but you wouldn't know it because the wait time was so ridiculous. Right, where am I? I'll make sure I'm not running into any hordes of zombies. That's why I keep zooming forward. I'm not trying to be annoying or anything. I'm just You notice now too, my cone of vision's a little more shallower. I'm tired, so my vision's a little bit messed up. I don't actually know if there is actually a punishment for being awake this long. Like if you do end up passing out. I feel like it's getting darker. It shouldn't get actually dark until like 9 o'clock, but it's still summer. Because, what is it? During the summer months, the sun doesn't set because of the time change. It doesn't actually get dark until around like 6. And the sun will actually set until much later. Where in the winter months, could the time change back to normal, it'll get dark. Yeah, cars. Don't see any Zambonis. These cars are beat up. But I am exhausted. So you get more weak too, apparently. That's not good. If I see any zombies, I really can't do anything. I'm kind of screwed. All I can do now is hope that there'll be no hordes. There'll be a single one or a couple I can just run past. I'm tired, but I'm not exhausted. That's the difference. I'm not running around, so I'm sleep tired, but I'm not exhausted tired. The main reason is I wanted to actually, oh my god. The main reason I wanted to stay up a little more is because I've been sleeping too early, and that's just throwing me off. Normally you should sleep during the night and then wake up in the morning. And I've been like going to bed at like whatever and wake up middle of the day and night. It's been doing my guy in. Sneaks up on me. It's like it's get a little cloudy out. It's hard to tell in this game. It always kind of looks like perpetually cloudy out. I've never noticed really having a quote-unquote sunny day. It always looks gray out. My guy is exhausted. Alright, where are we at? Oof. 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 We got ways to go. If it gets dark and we don't make it back, we might end up dying. I could cut to the woods and cut down the time in half. The problem with that is there's also zombies in the woods. There's zombies everywhere, but the ones in the woods are a little more harder to deal with because obviously you can't see them very well. So you could be running through the woods and stop for a second and not notice what behind a tree and you're getting nibbled on. You're getting turned into a man-witch. Alright. Seems pretty quiet. I'm only running because we're running low on time. Not time to play, but time to live. Just help him pull and I'll zoom forward. Right. What was that? I thought I saw something. Nope. But yeah, said before, this is the current unstable build of Zomboid. If the game looks interesting, definitely check it out. It's a very steep learning curve. If you played other survival games, you'll pick this up pretty quickly. It's a little bit different. They say it's very gritty, very realistic. And personally, like I don't really like survival games for the most part, like eating and drinking, but this one, in my eyes, does it right. Food is pretty available, you know, because you can just ravage houses while you can. The water you can get through the faucets while you can. Once the water gets turned off due to the apocalypse, you have no more running water. Luckily, where I am, there is well water. But there is no point to this game. Ultimately, there is no point. It's just to see how long you can survive. So, there is no end. You aren't being saved. You're going to die. When it happens, you can die 20 years from now. You can play this game forever and be like a master at it and explore the whole map and get a farm and never die. Which I would have its, you know, up points too. It'd be interesting to like live forever like that. Get windy out. There might be a storm coming. I do have a walkie-talkie that might have the emergency broadcast system on it. Let's see, okay. I just, should come to an intersection pretty soon and go up. I know walking is a little boring. I'm not running because you get tired. If you get tired, you'll have to rest. That's like real life. The only way to rest is to sit down. So by sitting down, obviously you're vulnerable. You had to sit down and do little circles like this to make sure your perimeter's safe. I'd rather save my sprinting for when I actually need it. I should be back at the fruit stand, actually. Is there zombies? Yeah, there's a lot of canned food here, but I really can't take anything. I'll come back there and get that food. My goal is, I think, is I want to try and make a living out of where I am now, out of this little Food Source Warehouse. Once, let me start over with that. The reason I pick here, it's a good starting area. I like this area. You're between a lot of the towns. You got Muldrow right below you. You got March Ridge to the west of you, and you got another town to the north of you. Personally, for me, I like this area because there's you go to the Food Source Warehouse. It's a kind of a walk, but you know where it is. There's food in there, so you can get a good start off with having food. There's a sink in there with water. There's chairs to sleep. They aren't comfortable, but it's a good starting location. My first time playing is one of my first time, but once I played on my own, because how it worked out, I played with my brother. We played together for a while, and I got the gist of the game. And I finally felt confident. I played on my own, and I panicked and I ran out of town. And as I ran out to, I think, this road here, and I followed it up. Or maybe I found another warehouse. I don't remember, but I ran out to here, and I found that Food Source Warehouse. I was like, oh, there's food in here, neat. And I started surviving out of there. I got to explore the houses nearby and explore the neighborhood near me and learn at my own pace. And by the next time my brother played, I was a lot more advanced than what I was. You can choose where to start, but not like literally. You can choose which town to start in, and each one has their plus and minuses. But Muldrow was the starting town my brother played in for a good couple months. We played here, so I know Muldrow. I like Muldrow. And I mentioned before, but for those who know and those who don't know, these are actual real towns. If you go on Google Maps or you just go on Google, you look up Muldrow, Kentucky. There's actually are real towns. I don't know if the geography is right, but these are actual towns that do connect more or less. It's kind of creepy. Actually, with Google Maps, you can go into VR, or just Google Maps in general. You can actually go to Muldrow in VR, which is pretty close actually to what is portrayed on the map. Basically, Muldrow is like a highway in town, I guess I want to call it. There's like a main, like not interstate, but it's like the busy road. I heard a zombie. I heard that. Anyways, yeah, it's weird. So, go check that out. Obviously, it's a little bit different, just for obvious reasons. But it's neat that they base it off, an area like this. It's not a city. It's a rural environment. There is a city. There's Louisville. But for the most part, you're all in rural environments. You're in a generic neighborhood. Can I open these doors? There we go. Water bottle still full? Filled. Error. Oh, okay. That was an actual error in the game. Maybe I saw a little thing in the bottom of the corner, so it was saying water bottle, but it was a soda bottle. When I was playing this version, my brother tried to play this version, but we had issues like I was saying earlier, so we switched back to the original version, and when I switched back to this, I had to redo everything, so. Did I find any buckets? No. Alright. Guess we'll go to sleep. Yep, rain. What I figured would happen, it was getting a little bit ucky out. I was coming back yesterday. I noticed the wind was picking up for one. You can kind of hear it blowing, and I noticed the trees were swaying, so you can tell there was something coming in. And usually in real life, when there's a storm in the way, the wind will pick up. Obviously, it's cloudy out. There may be a weird color palette in the sky due to the different chemicals and the sun setting weirdly and blah 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 blah. But I knew something was up. I don't want to go out in the rain because that's how you get sick. I'm not going to attest to that. I used to, my one job, I used to work in and out of the rain, and on rainy days, like bad rainy days, I usually would get like a minor cold the next day. Depending on how bad it was raining. If it was like a small, like minor rain, you'd be fine. But a heavy rain, like constant, like, yeah, it would do you in. So I can go next door, see if... So all these crates here all have food in them. Things that are marked fresh are still good. If it's not marked fresh, it means it's starting to degrade. Anything that's not fresh will have some kind of after effect on the player. No buckets. Alright, I used to use those as storage. The only thing they are working on, item places with the controller, everything is on a tile. Apparently with the mouse, you can put things anywhere you want to within the game's restrictions. For me, placing an item, everything's done to a grid. They are working on that, apparently, to fix that, which is cool. It's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, good. It's on here. 104.6, your emergency broadcast station. Caller, you're on the air. Oh, yeah, there's fucking zombies everywhere. Okay, average temperature 59.6. Mile wind right there, but it showed there. The weather starting in the mornings with the heavier rain. Tomorrow average. Okay, so it's just crappy out today. So the rain's going to continue through the night into next morning. I don't think I have any books. No. No, I do not. I have no books. All right, let's move that. All right, now you see the dark red skull like that, it means you're carrying way too much weight and it's starting to hurt you. I don't know if they actually can die doing this. I never actually did find out. I would assume so. It's like when you bring a backpack and you just have too much weight in it. It's going to hurt your arms, your muscles up in here. I know I go to the store on foot because it's close by. I'll carry it in my backpack and I'll get a little too much sometimes and it hurts because you had too much weight and you don't realize it. All right. These three are clear. Start putting some food in here. There's a farmhouse down the road I want to go to. We're going to run there. I just throw it all in there. I don't really care. Let's keep food in that chest. There. All right. Let's get it. My freaking Gallagher. I'm gonna smash the watermelon. Smash that watermelon like I smashed that like button. That was subtle, right? All right. I'm gonna go for a little run down the road here to the farmhouse. I might get a little bit damp because it is shitty out. But standing around the side's back, you get bored. You get more and more bored, and it messes with you. So, the being outside does keep you on board, apparently. I'm sure some people would argue that. They go outside and they're still bored. But there's a farmhouse up here. I'm trying to go to that because I know there's probably some books in there I didn't grab for some reason. My brother always told me, days like this, when it's shitty out, you're best to stay inside and just read. That there's like a storm rolling through it, like an actual like storm. I had an itch in my eye. Look out of the trees. So first. Having stuff to read and stuff to do is just nice to keep a guy from being bored. There was a bunch of zombies up here when I first started playing. I killed them all, but I'm just trying to make sure. And nothing new is wandered this way. Looking pretty good. What is cool is the the corpses of the zombies will over time decay. Will become just bones. It's actually really interesting. Wasn't a lot in here, was there? Newspaper. Taking no readables in here. Yeah. And right down here, there's a little camp kind of thing. Yeah, there wasn't a lot in there. No actual, like, learning books. That I was really looking for is a book to, like, learn a trade to kind of, like, pass the time. Alright, that symbol there, that little pink, that's my lungs. They're starting to burn because I'm running everywhere. The more you run, the more tired you get. If you get too tired, you slow down. Remember, too, it is the middle of July. Well, yeah, it's middle of July. It is currently about 70 now, but it's raining, so it's going to get humid. You have no AC, no luxuries. You're just out here suffering through the rain, through the heat. Swim at the base kind of soon, right? I get moist. Being moist for a few minutes is fine. Being like, I guess there's like saturated. I don't remember. But I said earlier, being wet for too long is just not good because you'll getting sick, and you can get sick. You like a cough and you sneeze, which has the potential to draw zombies in. So if you're trying to sneak through somewhere and you freaking sneeze like a maniac, well, you're probably gonna die from that. I think I'm gonna end this here. Just because it's not to do right now. It's raining out. I gotta deal with it next time, but right now I feel like I've had enough. I said this is a neat game. I didn't know a lot about it. I learned about it, and now I'm like, this is a cool game. It's a very neat survival game. If you're tired of all the samey, I would suggest checking this game out. The company does promote people recording it and streaming it. You won't get in trouble with anybody. So if you're like me, you're a YouTuber, or you're on Twitch, whatever you're on, and you want to play this game, okay, go for it. You won't get in trouble doing it. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I want to thank you all for watching, as always. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.